Beauty is to be found and destroyed. None of that comes what lies between these two words here, the space of something questionable, shaky boundaries and lines, again to revisit our trite and irreversible colloquy. I between you, both disquieted, though it is impossible to differentiate. Perhaps we are some of us angels, some of us devils, fighting heaven between hell, and yet all of us dead and gone from a world below or beyond dark. Simultaneous destruction and creation, never one more than the other, that expanding and contracting into itself goes in all directions. Perhaps you and I are the angels of a previous universe of mortals, and those mortals angels to a universe of mortals further down, and those devils but formal evil men, themselves the devils of evil men in a universe above, died and fallen into the grace of a hell existing in a universe below, while the good men die and feed the populations of those worlds that may exist in the universe above. As such, it could be said that either angels ascend into a world of evil or that devils descend into a world of heaven. In other words, each angel is a devil, each devil an angel, forever in conflict with what it is, and yet in destroying itself will keep going in a universe either up or down, but never just up and never just down. It is absurdly clear to me. This unending cultivation of wrong within right is made possible by death, nothingness. God is time, and time, nothingness. Thus, God is death, or rather not death, but what a person becomes after they die. That is a funny little fragment from something I wrote with my cousin. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that if the universe is in equilibrium, then why would you, if you were to be good your whole life, if you were to be good your whole life and be pious, be a completely amiable, benevolent person, and why would you go to heaven? I mean, that wouldn't be a balance. It'd be the same thing. I mean, it seems to me that well, I mean, my old pal Blaze put it like this. He said, disturb one side of the balance and you disturb the other side also. It's that idea of opposites, you know? Opposites being things that balance out when juxtaposed to one another. So then, I mean, maybe it's like we're putting too much importance in life after death. You know, maybe they're the same thing. Maybe one is not more important than the other. You know? I mean, then there are people who say that life is more important than life after death, but I think our non-existence is as important as our present existence, personally. So then, if someone is bad their whole life, then when they die, they'll enter into goodness. And if someone is good their whole life, they'll enter into badness. after death, in both cases after death. It's only a matter of time that, when I say matter of time, I don't mean matter of time before this happens. I mean, it literally is a matter of the concept of time. That's what gives us perspective on things. Experience, and we can't have experience without time passing for that experience to occur. So then, if something comes after something else, like death after life, we assume that because it is the next step, that it is a step forward, as it is that time moves forward. So what I'm saying is, if everything is infinite, then there's no steps forward, there's no steps backward. It's all equal. You know? I mean, it's merely a matter of difference. The difference between good and bad being a matter of time, if that makes any sense. Again, to reiterate, it's my personal opinion that if you're good your whole life, you're going to need to make up for all the bad stuff. And if you're bad your whole life, you're going to need to make up for all the good stuff. Otherwise, shit won't balance out. So, again, to reiterate, if you're a pious one, a giving person, and considering the duality of man, well then, no one's fully good, no one's fully evil, no one's wholly good, no one's wholly evil. So then, if someone is too good, then they need to recompense for that duality in either the next life they are given or life after death, whatever. So it's quite possible that the same person, the same soul that was in Gandhi was also in Hitler. Simply, well, no. I guess that's kind of a bad example because they both existed around the same time. But the only reason we think that the afterlife is a result is because it's in the future, is because it's the next step. So we assume that the result will be dependent on what came before. But it's not, to me. I mean, if it was, then things wouldn't be even, it seems. Because what about the step after afterlife? Or, I guess what I mean is, if things always change, it's like if you take a black square and a white square and you put them next to each other, the black square may be to the left or the right of the white square. However, in relation to themselves, they're the same thing. They still make up the same rectangle. You know? Doesn't matter which one came before or which one came after. There is no result. There is no cause. There is nothing that leads up to a result. There's nothing. Which I guess is kind of weird. But there it is.